Let me tell you about a game that will not be free to play, and that is Borderlands 4.
Oof.
Yeah, oof. All right.
Nice segue.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's back up a little bit. If you recall, this was last month in May. There was a lot of talk just about 1 month ago where Randy Pitchford was responding to somebody about the $80 price tag, the potential $80 price tag here. And it was not responded to very well here. They were talking about the game here, and this guy says, Randy, the game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed this notion of constant increase of the price tag. You're the CEO. You have some say in the price when it comes to your publisher. He says, not my call. And then this is where things really got messy. He says, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen here.
What a fucked up thing to say to like your fans, like
right.
Unreal, man. Like,
well, he saw he got all the smoke from that, man. He got thrown out, and people had no interest in hearing that. The idea of you being a real fan. And Randy is once again, his net worth is well over $30 million. He is the CEO of Borderlands, and for him to kind of go off and be like, look, you'll find a way to make it happen. By the way, let me just throw about 10 grand here this way for whatever reason, it's very like out of touch. Right.
Yeah.
And it obviously got passed around in the news cycle here. People were not happy with this. He got rejected to half court by the gamers. You see IGN over here writing, doing articles, and this guy's face says a lot here. He's not wrong. And it goes back to kind of what Pokimane said about this. Let's see if we can relive the Pokimane meme here. This is more or less what Randy Pitchford was saying.
I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like if you're a broke boy, just say so.
So Randy Pitchford essentially calling everybody broke boys once again, which nobody likes to be called that.
Sorry, why do they have so much disdain for people that don't have money?
I don't know. It's a really good question. You want to know why? Because they can't buy their game. They can't support them. So there's that. But after receiving all of the backlash, Leaflet, over the past month or so, and despite Randy Pitchford saying, I have no say in the price of this, people were speculating it's $80. Yesterday, it was announced, courtesy of Randy Pitchford's ex, the big news: no price increase for Borderlands 4. The standard edition launches not at $80, but $69.99. They're showing you, so please show them. You can find links to pre-order Borderlands 4 PC and console versions at the store pages below here. And as this person pointed out, it's like this is literally a price increase of $10, right? From Borderlands 3. That was $60 when it came out, and they have increased the price to $70 here. So yes, it's not $80, but it is still a price increase here. And a lot of people are pointing out that this seems, as Colt says, seems like they changed from $80 to $70 after the backlash of Randy's comments. And this goes back to the idea of like bullying, like it works. We've seen this over and over again when it comes to social media. Like if you're upset about things, you can let your voice heard. If you don't think that the people over at Borderlands and Gearbox heard what people were talking about, this $80 price tag, and they were upset, and then they adjusted based off. I mean, he said it in his tweet. Going back to his tweet here, he says, they're showing you, oh, wrong one. They're showing you, so please show them. It's like, by the way, it is very condescending. They're showing you. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that, Leaflet.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that these people they're condescending towards people that don't have money. It's like, I wonder if they've ever been in that position of, being poor, not having money. Because saying something like, oh, you're not a true fan because you can't afford it. It's like some people have to afford groceries. Some people have to pay for gas. Some people have to pay for rent. Like some people are still struggling kind of like in the early game of life. And it's like, have these people not experienced this themselves? Like, what are they talking about? Everyone's been in a position where it's quite a pinch, and to say like, well, you're not a true fan if you're not gonna starve yourself. Like if you're gonna, you're gonna forego you know, eating, and like you're gonna eat meager meals so that to afford our game. If you were a real fan, that's what you would do. You would eat gruel until you could afford our game. Like that's crazy. Like where did he even think that would go with the optics? And it's like I wonder like how do these people not realize that?
Well, what's interesting, what's even more interesting about this, even further here, Leaflet, is apparently this is from Wario64 over here.
Mhm.
Says Borderlands 4 for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox up for pre-order at GameStop. Collector's edition is $149.99, but the collector's edition doesn't include the game.
Wait, not even like a digital version, or
Well, this is it
wait,
right
it says
here.
games sold separately in the bottom right.
Yes, right here. So you can get the Echo 4 bundle. You get a map. So it's just a bundle. This is games sold separately. Borderlands 4.
How the hell is it a bundle if you're supposed to be selling the game in the first place? That's the main thing to sell.
Yes. Borderlands 4 not included is required to redeem golden keys. Shift code must be redeemed by December 31st, 2030. It's pretty good. More information about redemption instructions. Well, here we go. So yes, when you buy the bundle, it doesn't even include the game. What?
Who decided this? This is a terrible marketing.
I don't understand how you can do that. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. How
Really a bundle now, is it?
Yeah.
They should have called it something else. This is bad, like a bad at conveying the message of what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
very bad marketing.
Mhm.
The messaging is very poor, and I love that when you look at this, just the picture as a whole, you see all the things that you get, and they just kind of like tiny in the corner down here. Whatever, just kind of tiny. So yeah, what do you actually get? Like what do you get a necklace? You got this Echo 4 figure with LED lights, cool man, but you don't get the game. So really, you're just buying a bunch of junk and for your background if you stream. Jake Lucky says, following backlash from the game potentially costing $80, Borderlands 4 has announced the game will be $70 here. And Savvy does a good job of really kind of laying this out. She says, I love this. I love how they go from defending. And this is from Kotaku, by the way. Kotaku over here says, Borderlands 4 reveals $70 price tag, proving all the drama was for nothing, which I think that's actually the exact opposite of what they proved here. The drama, I think, actually served its purpose here. The idea that it brought it down. So yes, a lot of people pointing out like this is very Kotaku of them right here. But it sure seems like that was the case. Savvy says, I love this. I love how they go. Speaking of the Kotaku right here, I love how they go from defending AAA greed to crying about how AAA executives treat their staff bad or their bonuses are to blame for layoffs. Right? They're going both sides of the argument here, and Savvy's doing a good job of pointing this out. So which is it? Are the $80 games good or bad for the industry? Do you want devs to listen to feedback or not? Maybe the drama caused it, given it was straight from the horse's mouth that, quote, real fans would pay the price. Are you activist or anti-capitalist? Or are you sheep licking the mud off your shepherd's boots? You were doing so good fading away, but is it like 4 of you left now? The 4 of you have a talent of making people laugh at you. Geez, Savvy, just relax. But yes, Kotaku going to bat for Borderlands 4. And I think this is a really good example, Leaflet, of just the internet always wins. Always. Blabs, you got anything on that?
No, I just find it all it's just so boring, like they're all just so stupid and it's all the same shit all the time. Like, I don't know, they're all boring with their personalities and their stupidity and their logic. Quotation marks.
The thing I get from this is like it's always sorry, the cough.
Yeah.
It's like they just always say things that just make them like they're the worst people. Like just the condescendingness towards like, and it's like they always say this from like such a smug position. It's like so irritating.
I think you're right. I think that's the thing that people have the hardest time with is the condescending nature of it. And the way I think most people read it when Pitchford came out and was like, look, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way. I kind of saw it as him being like, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way. And then just kind of like putting his arms back.
The chin up and stuff.
You know, like one of those. Oh man. Well, I wonder how many real fans. My gut, I feel like it's gonna fail. I feel like Borderlands 4 is gonna drastically it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell, right? But I think it's gonna underperform. If you look at the trajectory of Borderlands 1 to 2 to 3, it has gone down. It's been a downward slope since the first one, and it's a pretty big drop off here. And they invested what $300 million into this game. That's a lot. You got to sell a lot of games to get there, and it'll probably make money. It'll do well, but I don't think it's going to perform as well as they hoped it would be. If that makes sense. So
it's all going to depend on the gameplay, because like the gameplay is king. Like, is the game fun? Are people going to have fun playing it together? Those are the most important things with the game. As far as like optics, I mean, obviously like, they already have like a big brand behind them. People have played the previous games, so their marketing failing, I guess, it's not going to be like as catastrophic as it could be, because there are people who are fans of the game and they don't really care about this stuff. But if the game is boring and it doesn't fulfill like being as fun as the previous games, then it's going to die. So I think that's the actual important thing.
let's not forget that it was just about 1 year ago where the Borderlands movie was released. And that was a massive bomb over here. It grossed $33 million off of a $110 to $120 million production budget.
Ouch.
That's without advertising. So I just don't know if there's an appetite for Borderlands like there was 10, 12, 13, 14 years ago when the first one was released, maybe 15 years ago when it was released. So there's bigger competition since then, better games, better indie games. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
Too, right? Like a lot of people getting like kind of tired of like sequels. So that might be, it might be just like bad timing for them as well.
Yes, I think you're right. And bad timing with drama, bad timing with everything. So obey YouTube. Watch this video. It's suggested for you.